Consider the following formula. Which of the following statements is true for this formula? To solve this question, we need to graph, and before we do that, we'll need to label our axes. In this case, our variables are not x and y, so we need to observe their relationship to one another to see how we should label our axes. Normally, our x-axis is our cause variable that will affect our y variable, and we can see that relationship in our answer choices. When b is greater than or less than something, that affects what A is. A is either negative or positive as a result. So that means B is our cause variable, A is our effect variable, and meaning we can label B as our x-axis and A as our y-axis. Now we can start looking for our A and B intercepts. Our A intercept is where B is equal to 0, and our B intercept is where A is equal to 0. Both of these will allow for the quickest way to graph this function so that we can observe its relationship. So let's go ahead and do our A-intercept first. So we will have A is equal to 0.5 times B, or 0, plus 2.5. 0.5 times 0 would just give us 0, plus 2.5 would just be 2.5. So our first coordinate point is going to be 0, 2.5. Then for our B-intercept, we would have A is equal to 0, and that's equal to 0.5b plus 2.5. We'll do opposite operations, subtract 2.5 from both sides. These will cancel, leaving us with negative 2.5 is equal to 0.5b. Then we need to 0.5 is being added to b, so the opposite operation is to divide both sides by 0.5. These 0.5s will cancel, and in this case, when we're dividing with decimals, this can get tricky. So what I would recommend is that you multiply both the top and bottom by 10 to move the decimal point over. So we'd have 2.5 becomes 25, and 0.5 becomes 5. 25 divided by 5 would give us 5. A negative 5 is equal to b, making our second coordinate point negative 5, 0. So now that we have our two coordinate points, I will go ahead and graph, and I'll be right back. Now I've plotted our two intercepts, one at 0, 2.5, so I went up 1, 2.5, and to the right 0. And then negative 5, 0, where I went to the left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up 0. Now we can take a look at our answer choices. A says when the value of b is greater than negative 2, so here is b is equal to negative 2, greater than is to the right, a is negative. All of these a values are positive because they are above the x-axis, making answer choice A incorrect. Answer choice B says when the value of b is less than 4, so we have positive 1, 2, 3, 4, and less than, A is positive. Well, A is going to be positive for a time, but once we cross over the x-axis, all of these values have negative A values, meaning that B is incorrect. C says when the value of B is greater than 4, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, A is positive. Well, to the right-hand side of this line, all of our A values stretching into infinity are going to be positive. They will never become negative. So that means answer choice C is our correct answer. And at that point, you can mark C and move on with the rest of the test. But for the sake of the video, I can show you why answer choice D is incorrect. D says when the value of B is less than negative 2, so here's negative 2, it's less than to the left, A is negative. A eventually becomes negative once we pass the b-axis or the x-axis. However, these values to start are all positive A values, making answer choice D incorrect and making C our correct answer.